Hello everyone. Today's session is more about PLM and ALM integration. Therefore, before I get into the Codebeamer and Windchill application, let me just quickly brief you about what is today's session about. So therefore, what you see here is the typical V model which we follow for automotive, but a similar V model is followed for different industry vertical. And in our previous sessions, we have looked at how Codebeamer is gets integrated with different modeler specifically for your system architecture and the software architecture and so on. And with respect to different standards, which is could be SysML or UML for software, could be a different one for the domain specific. We also saw in the previous sessions about the integration of Codebeamer with test and DevOps tools. And today's session is more on this side, which is on PLM side. How do you extend your digital thread uh, from start till the end? That is from the requirement till the whole product lifecycle. And in this, we'll see the Codebeamer app, Codebeamer integration with Windchill PLM integrate with Windchill PLM. Now, this is to again go a little bit deeper. What you see here on the Codebeamer side, we manage requirements. We do model-based system engineering in Windchill Modeler. And then again, the system requirements in Codebeamer, we, from the user requirements or from customer requirements, we derive the system requirements and so on. And on the right-hand side, you see the testing part of it. But in this middle area, because we do, your system could be a mechasoftonic BOM, that is, mechanical, electrical, and software. Depending upon what is the domain, your this layer will change. But right now, for this demo, we are showing you a typical mechanics or mechanical system where you have the requirements in Codebeamer and the system requirements in Codebeamer, and then you are building your EBOM, your MBOM, and your service BOM in Windchill. Now, when you do this, when you are creating your engineering BOM or when you're creating these parts, there is a purpose for these parts, and that purpose is to satisfy some requirement. That could be a system requirement, or that could also be directly a user requirement or a custom requirement. It depends upon how do you decompose your requirements. But what we will see today is this, that how this WT part in Windchill satisfies this requirement, and what happens when this requirement is changed on the upstream. Therefore, how does a suspect flag gets created in Windchill so that the team, the engineering team who's working on engineering BOM can see this suspect flag, and then accordingly they can take some action, and then the manufacturing team will see a suspect flag on manufacturing side, and service team will see a suspect flag on the service side, and how these changes can be propagated. Therefore, we will not look the propagation on the digital thread within Windchill, but what we will look at today is this, that how a suspect from Codebeamer is handled on the Windchill side. Okay. With this, I get into the systems. Okay, so therefore, I have two browsers opened up here. One is, as you see, one is on the Codebeamer. This is the Codebeamer browser, and this is the Windchill browser. And what we will do here is this, that like, for example, system requirement, I just created these three requirements. We'll use one of them, or we can go and create a new requirement. Therefore, I create a new requirement saying, demo DPT, that is digital product traceability requirement. Okay, so this is for today's demo, and I just copy and paste it as a description just from the time effectiveness perspective. Now I saved it, therefore I have one more requirement, that is the 10 requirements, and the last one is the demo DPT requirement. And now if you see here, there is the Windchill server, it says no item there because I have not connected anything, and so on. Okay, therefore now I go to Windchill, and in Windchill I go to any particular product container. Suppose I go to Snowmobile, and then I go to folder, and I just created one folder known as AP test data. I will use this. I go and create a new part, and let me call the part as a demo demo DPT part. Okay, DDPT. Okay, this is the demo DPT part. I'm creating a WT part in Windchill, as simple as this. And once this part is created, I go into the part, and you will see here there's a traces tab. If you don't see a traces tab, you can configure and add it. It's best to go to the related objects, and then there's a trace too. And this is the one which we use for ALM and PLM integration of the traces. Or you can also go to a structure tab, and within the structure also you see these traces. And why it is better to go here, because once you have the bill of material, it's very easy to see each of this bill of material elements and what requirement these elements satisfies. That is why we have created these parts, because for some purpose or some requirements, right? And that is what you will see it here. So now with this, I go and click here plus, and now I enter the ID, and therefore this tick means it's authenticated. And then I go to Codebeamer, because in this case I'm integrating with Codebeamer, but you can also use OSLC link to connect with Windchill Modeler and Windchill Requirement Validation and Source, that is Windchill RVS. For today's session, I'm just connecting to Codebeamer. And now what I'm trying to connect to Codebeamer, therefore I'm trying to connect requirements in Codebeamer. Now it's asked what do you want to select, like what is the type of relationship. In this case, I'm opting for satisfied. That means this WT part which I'm selecting in Windchill satisfies the requirement which resides in Codebeamer. And then which project in Codebeamer. Therefore, for many project in Codebeamer, I can just look at my project in Codebeamer. Therefore, it says here AP MedDev project. So I go back to this, and then I go to AP MedDev project. Once you select the project, and this is in almost all integration with Codebeamer, whenever you integrate with Codebeamer, you have to select the project, select the tracker, and then pick what you want. So in this case, I'm selecting a MedDev project, and tracker is requirement. Now it asks me if I know the work item, I can directly enter it here, but I can also do a blind search. There are not many. They are like only limited ones. Therefore, these are the ones. I guess they are around, yeah, they're around less numbers. And now in this I can pick up the one which I created, which was DPT. Okay, this is a demo DPT requirement. Therefore, I select this, click OK. Now, what I did is this requirement now on this side, on the left-hand side, you see this requirements gets added. And right now it says that it's authenticated because I've logged in and the same user I'm using. Actually, you have to use the same user ID. Therefore, it's like with this ID, I just went ahead and made this link. And now it says that traceability is satisfied, and there is no traces here. Now, if I go on the Codebeamer side and change this requirement, suppose this requirement is changed, and I call it as suppose requirement 1, and mark it as this requirement is changed. Whatever you can, you can say there is a new DPT requirement, and you can make all the changes what you want to do here. Okay, this is just for illustration purpose, but you can write your actual requirement and make actual changes. But I'm just trying to say, you just edit some text here so that it gets changed here, gets flagged here. Apart from it, you will also, when you go down on this right hand panel, when you scroll down, you will also see Windchill server now. The server details also populated, and it also says that this is connected to a WT part. It gives you the ID A2 of WT part, and that is internal ID of WT part, and it also gives you the name of the WT part and so on, and the version, and when it was done. Now, if I go here and if I refresh this, because I changed the requirement in the Codebeamer and the ALM, I should see a suspect flag. Now, many times you may not see this suspect flag because of the synchronization interval time. Now, I don't know what is the synchronization interval time, but probably like I think it is some in minutes. I guess that therefore I'm not seeing it here, but I can show you the previous ones because I just tried two more WT parts, and I can show you this one. Like if I go to this previous one, this is how it will look like. Now, if you see here in this case, okay, there was no change in okay. Oh, I'm still in sorry, in the same part. Let me go to this one, a different part, AP test part. Now, if you see here, there are two requirements, and one of the requirement is changed. Actually, this is the requirement itself. Like this was about robot arm. If I go here, if I scroll down, you will see this APTP1. If I go to battery requirement, you will also see the same thing, APTP1. And in one of the case, it was changed, but it is not yet synchronized. Now, what you do as a, whenever you see this trace which says that suspect flag, that means this requirement is changed. Therefore, you have to read this, and accordingly you have to update this part. Now, you can also look at, how do you make a task out of it. But the right now, from the OTB perspective, you see this, you see a suspect flag, you take an action, and once it is done, you select this and say you want to clear this suspect flag. So you just mark it as clear, and then this gets cleared. That means you don't have a suspect flag for this part now. Both the requirements are met, and it is now you have taken consideration of all the latest changes, and there is no suspect flag anymore on this. So this is how it works. You can also go on the upper tab and you can see from here. So this is how it works. So that's all we have for today's session. We just wanted to show you the ALM and PLM integration and how you can build the traceability between requirements in Codebeamer and WT parts in Windchill. Thanks.